HoloTEMPUS is a video game isekai. How do I know that? Well, the setup is very similar to what you'd see in Sword Art Online. We can see that Elysium is a world server like you'd find on any good MMO, and that the server is being rebooted. Let's look at this frame. The pursuit of anything outgo would be in vain. I assume this is a typo and they meant anything outgoing. This means that Holostars English is trapped inside of the world server. We also see the lines, fall of the corporeal and digital ocean, giving us further evidence that we are in a game world and not in real life. We also see Elysium, the meaning of adventure, the sword of the brave, and revive. On another frame, we see data size. These, again, point to Holostars EN's existence on a video game world. There's a tale in this video that gives us the character role of each new member. Yes, I squinted so you don't have to. Let's read the story. There are 4 parts. Remember to turn on closed captions if you have trouble understanding me, because I always add them manually. Let's start with part 1. The hero walked through the forest, populated by many colossal trees, standing fully alert of his surroundings. But that wasn't enough to detect the slender arm that reached out from behind him and grabbed him by the shoulder. Alchemist. Heya. Before the whispering even reached his ears, the hero twisted his body to shake the arm off. He crouched, prone to attack, and his right arm grabbed the sword sheathed on his waist. Only then did he look up at his assailant. His gaze met the alchemist, who was coming toward him, waving his arm. Hero. Man, not you again. Having confirmed that he was only dealing with the alchemist and his eccentric ways, the hero returned to a relaxed stance. Alchemist. Rude. You should be more appreciative of me. A friend in need is a friend indeed, remember? Hero. I have no idea what you're talking about. Alchemist. You're heading to the ruins up ahead, aren't you? I'm willing to help. Chemists have the wonderful ability to grant people's wishes, after all. That ends part 1. Part 2 was the hardest part to read, and I couldn't make out the first 3 sentences because they were covered by particle effects, but the gist is that the alchemist and hero went to some place called the Grand Library, and the hero is fighting a third character called the Scholar, who wields a rapier, which is a type of stab sword. To recap, so far, we have the hero, the alchemist, and the Scholar. We know 3 out of the 4 character roles. Here is the readable part of the second passage. Scholar, how many times must I spell it out for you? How do you not understand that what you're doing is pure improper? Hero, I'm not who I was back then. The hero parried the rapier and used that chance to attack. All of his swings were filled with drive and determination, his technique as sharp as the glint in his eyes. But even that volley couldn't reach his opponent. The Scholar dealt with each of them with poise. He deflected overhead swings by striking at the heart of the sword with his rapier, and he avoided sweeping blows by hopping backward. Following the fierce back and forth, the 2 of them paused for breath. They both knew that the fight wasn't headed toward a decisive conclusion, but they both were also prepared to use their ace in the hole if they saw an opportunity to. The tension in the air was so palpable that even the alchemist and the gladiator felt it. That was precisely why the latter deemed it necessary to bellow a roar and stop the battle as soon as he heard the ringing of the clock tower's bell. That ends part 2 of the story. Now we have the hero, the alchemist, the scholar, and the gladiator. Those are the roles of the 4 Holostars members. Let's see what we can find out about them from the next 2 passages. Here is part 3. The box seats at the arena offered the best view of the combat below, and standing at the entrance to the seating area were the hero and the alchemist, both with bemused expressions on their faces. From where they stood, they couldn't see the fighting at all. All they could see was a man seated in a chair made of bones, staring back at them. Even fully clothed, you could tell that this man had a finely honed body. He was probably a muscled, and the rest of the sentence is unreadable. Hero, you sent this, didn't you? Alchemist, such an honor, receiving a direct invitation from the famed kingmaker of the Colosseum. The man's lips broke out into a wry smile. Gladiator, so I hear you're looking for strong companions to join your party. Hero, well yeah, but... Cutting the hero's words off, the gladiator stood up and threw his chair at them. Gladiator, then fight me. We can do it here, the arena, or wherever the hell you want. That ends part 3 of the story. We're starting to get an idea of how the 4 Holostars EN members became a party. It's a common theme in isekai stories to have characters who are at odds when they first meet become friends and journey together. In part 4, we return to the scene from part 2 where the hero and the scholar are fighting in the Grand Library. Heavy chains came crashing down between the hero and scholar, cracking the floor. The impact left the 2 battlers completely dumbfounded. Gladiator. I came along because I thought I'd get to see a good old-fashioned brawl. What is this pansy crap? Alchemist. I certainly enjoyed it though. The 2 of them walked over and stood by the hero. Even without it being spelled out, the scholar could see that it was a display of solidarity. Scholar. Very well. I recognize your skills and your determination, but know that you are nothing by yourself. With those words, the scholar turned around and gracefully walked towards the exit. Hero. Excuse me. Gladiator. Forget that. Let's grab some grub. The gladiator extended his arms, grabbed the other 2 by their shoulders, and dragged them toward himself. That's where the story ends for now. We didn't get to see the scholar join the party of the hero, alchemist, and gladiator, but it's clear the hero wants the scholar to join them. What did you all think? Let me know in the comments, and feel free to join my Discord if you enjoy lore discussions like these. Thank you for watching.